other than Mr. Yamada and Ms. Rogel, I don't have any other names to call, and there may be a few others here who have come to the courtroom and haven't been checked in properly yet. So just feel free to come up and chat with Maria, and she can make sure that we get you called. Ms. Rogel, let's go ahead and pull up your case. Ms. Rogel, you have a charge of trespassing, which is alleged to have occurred on September 12th of 2025 at 1777 Broadway, which is right near the Penfield Tate building.
Yeah, I was up there, I was charging my phone and stuff. Because I have to have my phone because my kids.
Okay. I don't have an address listed for you. Are you unhoused right now?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm a traveler. I travel from town to town, state to state.
I see. How long do you think you'll be here in Boulder?
Hopefully not too much longer.
Okay. Would you like to talk to our navigator just to see if there's a way to earn dismissal of that charge without having to go through the traditional court process? You've probably heard me talk to others.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Would you like to do that? Okay. Yeah. There's a list right there to your right. If you'll just put your name underneath the person there on the bottom of the list, and then Dara will speak with you as soon as she's able to do so.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rogel.
You would have known about how long it would probably be.
Well, it's a pretty busy courtroom today, so it might be a 15 or 20 minute wait or even a little bit longer to speak with Dara. She works pretty quickly, but there's a few people in front of you.
Okay, I just want to know so I can know if I had time to go back.
Well, and you do have time to do that, for sure. And even if your case got called, we would know that that's where you were and we could just let her know.
Okay.
So just come on back in after you've done that.
Okay.
The bathroom's just down the hall.
Just back in.
Yeah, just back in here when you're back.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Luke Yamada. Okay, and you wanted me to call Mr. Winegard, is that what you said?
Yes, please.
All right, we'll call the Winegard in case Mr. Winegard is back after speaking with Ms. Keller. And whenever you're ready, Ms. Keller.
There's one charge here of aggressive animals. Speaking with Mr. Weingarten, it sounds like the dog here, Coda, is about to go to a 4-week behavioral boot camp. Given that that's a pretty lengthy commitment, I'm very likely inclined to accept that in lieu of an evaluation. But I do want to give Mr. Weingarten time to actually get Coda into that program. It sounds like he's also expecting a baby very soon. So I want to give him some time to be able to handle all of those things. So we're going to ask for an 8-week continuance at this time. I've told him that if that's not enough, he can call the municipal court staff to get reset, but hopefully we can revisit this case once we have a behavioral report from that dog program.
Okay, thank you for sharing all that, Ms. Keller. So what we'll do next, Mr. Weingarten, is just going to send you out front. I'm going to put a note here for you to appear. Because you've appeared in person the first court date, you can come back in person if you choose to, or by Zoom video for your next court date. So I'm going to authorize Zoom. We'll set it about 8 to 10 weeks out. That hopefully gives you time to kind of get your life organized and your dog situation taken care of. When you come back, you'll have the option of pleading guilty or having a follow-up conversation with the prosecutors, perhaps even have that before you come back so you know what you're going to do when you get here. And if you decide you want to accept an offer from them, you can do that at your next court date. And if you decide you want to set for trial, you could do that at the next court date. Great. Okay, so no plea will enter today. And then just if you'll take a right when you exit here, it's the same place you checked in earlier. They'll get you that new court date. All right, thank you, Mr. Winegard.
And then, Your Honor, just briefly, I spoke to Dara. It sounds like there are 2 people who she's spoken to about a deferred judgment. So I'm putting those agreements in the file. So that's Joyce, and then Tabergay. Give us just a moment. How do you say it?
Tabergay.
Tabergay. I will try to get it right. Give us just a moment.
All right, so I will call those as soon as you have those up into the system.
Just a moment.
All right, sounds good. And I don't know that, is there anybody who's appeared in the court right now who has not been called? Oh, Nick's got a couple more. So John Grisham, we'll call Mr. Grisham, and then we'll have Mr. Talbot will be next. Good morning, Mr. Grisham.
Good morning.
Grisham, there's one charge for you. It's a charge of having a prohibited item, which is a tent or a net. This allegedly occurred on September 7th of 2025. Your name is, I think, familiar to me, but I'm not sure that we've interacted. Have we? I'm sorry?
It's a book author.
It is a book author's name, I know that, but I'm not sure if you and I have actually met. And
Well, not like, but I've been to this court.
have you been, okay, so perhaps you're familiar with our community court program that the prosecutors have embraced, which is to assist people who are struggling with housing or stability related issues. And if you work with a navigator, talk to them about the issues that you have that are out there, they may be able to find something that you can do to improve your stability that will allow the prosecutors to feel comfortable to dismiss the charge. So if you'd like to have that conversation with Dara, she would speak with you. You would just need to have you put your name on the list and then she would speak with you later on this morning. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah, that's.
All right, so if you'll put that name there, your name there, Mr. Grisham, and then when Dara is able to get to you, she will speak with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mateo Talbot. I'm well, Mr. Talbot. How are you, sir? And taking a look at the summons for you, there's one charge for you to charge of obstructing government operations, which is a violation of section 551 of the Boulder Revised Code. Just like many others who I've spoken to today, you would be eligible for the community court program if you'd like to speak with Dara. You could also speak with the prosecutor this morning if you didn't want to have that conversation with Dara and just have a conversation directly with the prosecutor.
Right, one stipulation on that, the ticket itself says if not signed by defendant, it is null and void. It is not, and they did not enforce it at the time of ticket.
So that's not how I read this. What it says is, in lieu of being arrested, I promise to appear. And so if someone signs a summons, then they don't have to be arrested. But an officer can still effectuate service of process by indicating that they actually personally served the person with the summons. The signature is just something that they like to have, and I like to have as a judge, that shows the person actually got it. So it doesn't make this null and void. That's not what it says on the summons. It just says that you can avoid being arrested and taken to the police station and ultimately booked at the jail if you sign the summons and promise to appear.
Correct, I would still look for dismissal on both of those.
All right, I'm not going to grant a motion to dismiss because there isn't the grounds for me to dismiss. But so I guess the next question is, what would you like to do with the charge itself?
I'd like to speak with your,
Want to talk to the navigator?
Judge Cahn, he has a second case. I'm getting that.
Okay. I'm just hearing from Nick that there is a second case, so we'll talk to you about that one too. But you can talk to a navigator if you'd like about both of the cases. Okay. So if you'll put your name on that list, then the navigator will get with you. And there are still ways to earn dismissal. It just is a little bit different process from our court's perspective.
understood.
Let me just pull up the other case while we've got it so that we can make sure that I've advised you of both charges that are pending.
I can give you that case number if you want the case number.
Yeah, Nick, that would be helpful.
4831.
So the second case is case number 2025-4831. This is from September 3rd of 2025. There's also a charge of obstructing government operations. So the same two charges. You can discuss both of those with the navigator. She can talk to the prosecutor's office, see if there's a way to resolve those cases for you. All right, so if you'll just have a seat and be patient. And did we get your name down on the list there for Dara? All right, thank you, sir. And Ms. Keller, I believe you're going to tell me you're ready on the other two?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, both Mr. Joyce and Ms. Tabergay.
All right, let's call.
Have deferred judgment
We
offers.
can call them both forward at the same time if you don't mind, and we'll go over them individually, but they can both be standing next to each other.
Your Honor, it's my understanding they both had conversations with Dara this morning, so the deferred judgment agreements have the same affirmative requirement, which is no new similar charges and completing 5 housing-related tasks with the court navigator.
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Heller. I'm trying to get my cursor to move over and show itself where it is. Where is it? See it moving, okay. So we will start with Mr. Joyce. Mr. Joyce, you heard what we've just been discussing. I'm going to pull up your case. So Nick's already pulled up the deferred judgment agreement, but I want to also have it up on my screen so I can go over it with you. A deferred judgment means that you're pleading guilty to the charge that's pending in the case. And in this case, there are three charges that are pending: obstructing government operations, camping, and having prohibited items. If you plead guilty to those three charges, you'll be placed on a deferred judgment for 6 months. We would not enter conviction on any of those charges. We would keep the case open for the 6-month period. I would not be charging any fees for this. It would just be one where you're required to complete the 5 housing-related tasks with our court navigator. And often that helps. Sometimes it helps with just basic stability, or people, if they're going to apply for a job and they might need to have an ID and they don't have it, or a birth certificate. Those are the types of tasks. So those are good things in my mind, that they help people get more stable. Obviously, our long-term goal is to have people be able to become housed. We don't make that guarantee to anybody because it's so difficult to get vouchers. At least in the last 6 to 9 months, it's become more difficult. So I don't like to set people up for expectations that we can't fulfill. But it is our goal, ultimately, to help people get housed. And so I just want to share that with you. And Ms. Keller, anything else that you wanted to add?
No, Your Honor, I might actually keep the line moving.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to be present for this. We'll move forward with the next step. Thank you for that, Ms. Keller.
Oh, sorry, you guys have to stay.
Yeah, you got it. You stay with me. So I wanted to make sure, Mr. Joyce, you understood, and I could tell Ms. Tabergay is understanding that as well. It does require the inner guilty pleas today. So that means you're giving up your right to trial on those 3 charges and all of the rights that I described to the group. Do you understand that? Are you doing that voluntarily? Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any medications or drugs or alcohol? Do you understand these 3 charges? The first charge being obstructing government operations? And do you agree that there's evidence to support that charge? Do you understand the charge of camping? And do you agree that there's evidence to support that charge? And do you understand the charge of having a prohibited item? And do you agree that there's evidence to support that charge? Now, you are doing all this without the benefit of a lawyer, and we do actually have a public defender who's here today. So if you wanted to speak with a public defender before going forward, you could. Looks like you're comfortable not doing that. I just wanted to make sure you understood you had that right. And do you understand that a lawyer might do a better job of representing you than you do representing yourself? Did you graduate high school or get a GED?
Graduated.
Okay, so you understand the rights that you're giving up here today.
Yes.
I am going to find that it's a free and voluntary decision to plead guilty. I'll pull up the summons now. As I mentioned, count 1 is a charge of having or obstructing government operations, which is a violation of section 551 of the Boulder Revised Code. This allegedly occurred September 10th of 2025 at 1001 Arapahoe. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
I'll accept that guilty plea. Count 2 is a charge of camping or lodging on property. Actually, count 2 is a charge of having a prohibited item, which is a violation of section 8321 of the Boulder Revised Code from that same date, time, and location. How do you plead to that charge? Accept guilty plea. And then the third charge is camping, which is a violation of section 5610 of the Boulder Revised Code. All right, I've accepted the guilty pleas on all 3 charges, so I appreciate that. I'm going to waive the deferred judgment fee for you. And so we all are going to place you on the deferred judgment for the 6-month term. And the condition will be that you complete the 5 housing-related tasks.
Okay.
It sounds like a lot, but it can be pretty quick depending on what the tasks are. So it isn't always as drawn out as people think.
Yes, sir.
All right, and if you'll just hang on for just a moment, Mr. Joyce, we're going to take up Ms. Tabergay's case here, and then we'll send you both back to meet with probation at the same time. So Ms. Tabergay, you were standing right next to Mr. Joyce. I'm making a record because it's orally that I have to make it clear that what's been going on. But you heard all the questions I asked of him. I have to ask them of you as well, so it takes a couple minutes to do it. But when you plead guilty to this deferred judgment, the 3 charges that are pending, you are giving up your right to trial and all of the other rights associated with that process. Are you doing that voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medications or drugs or alcohol? Do you understand these 3 charges? We'll start with the charge of obstructing government operations. Do you understand that charge? Do you agree there's evidence to support that
Yes.
charge? Do you understand the charge of camping or lodging on property without consent of the owner?
Yes, sir.
And do you agree there's evidence to support that charge?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand the charge of prohibited items?
Yes.
Do you agree there's evidence to support that
Yes,
charge?
sir.
You are doing all this without the benefit of a lawyer to help you. You understand that I could appoint the public defender if you needed that help? Are you comfortable going forward without a lawyer?
Yes.
And do you understand that a lawyer might do a better job of representing you than you do representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
And did you graduate high school or obtain a GED?
GED.
Okay, so you understand the rights that you're giving up here today. I am going to find that it's a free and voluntary decision to plead guilty. Count one is a charge of obstructing government operations in violation of section 551 of the Boulder Revised Code occurring September 10th, 2025 at 1001 Arapahoe. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty, sir.
I'll accept that guilty plea. Count two is a charge of camping or lodging on property without consent of the owner in violation of section 5610 of the Boulder Revised Code from that same date, time, and location. How do you plead to that charge? Thank you. And then the third charge is having a prohibited item in violation of section 8321 of the Boulder Revised Code.
Guilty, sir.
All right, I've accepted those three guilty pleas. We're going to place you on the deferred judgment for the 6-month term to all three charges. Waive the fees associated with it. The expectation is that you'll complete the 5 housing-related tasks. You've already had a chance to interact with Dara, so that's good. You probably have a plan going forward that hopefully will improve your stability. The next step of this process is for us to send both of you back to probation. So Maria, would you mind walking them back? You're going to meet with the Dara or probably Fernanda in probation. Fernanda will be the point person for getting the case dismissed ultimately. She works with Dara, so Dara acts as a navigator, but she's also actually the supervisor of our probation department, so the two of them work hand in hand.
Okay.
And then if questions come up, either one of them can answer questions for you. So once you've finished up with them, they'll get you on your way, and then hopefully I won't see you again, but if I do, it'll be in a capacity that hopefully is more friendly than this one.
Yes.
All right, thank you both for appearing.
I'll be right with you. I'm gonna stand up with you.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Compton. How are you, sir? Let me take a quick look at what we've got. I got 2 files that are open for you. Case number 2025-3371 is the first. I'm going to look at the history on it too, Nick, just make sure that don't see any warrants that have been issued. I think what happened is I had looked and you'd missed court, and I had contacted our navigators and said, hey, I really need to see Mr. Compton before I can move forward with his cases. And you may have been at community court, because they mentioned to me that you were, and I think you came on camera, and then we moved your court date for today. Does that all sound about right? Is my memory right on that? Okay. So case number 2225-3371, I want to see where we are in the history of that case, because that one, I think you'd already entered into a deferred judgment. You had, and you did that on July 29th of 2025. You pled guilty in front of me. We placed you on a deferred judgment. Couple of things were to happen, 3 housing related tasks, and you were to agree to the forfeiture of the BB gun. I think the gun just stayed at the police department. You never retrieved the gun. Is that accurate?
That's true.
Okay, and then you had the 3 housing related tasks to complete. And I'm just going to take a look at the hearing date, so I'm kind of up to speed on that. Yeah, we were expecting to see you for your review date on September 3rd. That's what triggered me, because I was looking at the September 3rd docket and saw that you hadn't appeared. And then I also want to look at the ROAs. Those are our register of actions. That kind of describes where things are. So you had a number of tasks to complete, and we don't have proof that you've completed those yet. You did complete one. You'd already done the application for a job, so that task was completed. That's noted in our file. The other 2 tasks were to meet with a mental health provider, and it looks like you did complete that. So you may have done that last week at community court. Were you able to meet with Naropa or someone else?
Yeah.
Okay, so that task has now been completed. And let me see what else was on the list of things to be completed. Oh, and then to apply for Medicaid or Medicare was the other task. So that's the one that has not yet been completed as I see it. So it might be worth talking to Dara about that to see if you can satisfy that last condition. She can help you apply for Medicaid and move forward with that. And then you do have a new case. So I just wanted to kind of get you up to speed on the old case, but you're really close, it looks like, on the old case of getting all the tasks completed. And then case number 2025-4720 is the new case. Let me just take a quick look at what we've got on that. That's a new charge, Mr. Compton. Had not yet had a chance to advise you of your rights on that, but the allegation is that you had a prohibited item, which is a tenter net, and that allegedly occurred on August 28th of 2025. And this was right near the Penfield Take Building at 1777, actually, 1777 6th Street, which is out down this direction. Which is weird because we've got two government buildings. One is 1777 Broadway, that's Penn Tate, and then the court building here or nearby is 1777 6th Street. So that's the new charge that's pending. You could also have a conversation with Dara about that to see if there's a task that you can complete to earn dismissal of that charge. You want to do that? All right. So you may have seen, we've got quite a few people that are working through meeting with Dara today. So it may be a few minutes to wait. Are you able to do that? Okay. So if you just have a seat, Dara's probably putting your name there down so you'll be on the list. And then when she's able to speak with you, she will. And Dara, I looked in the file. On the old case for Mr. Compton, one task left to be completed, which is a Medicaid application. You may already know that, I don't know, but the other two tasks have been completed. And the BB gun was already surrendered, so I think that's just at the police department. So we just have a new case and that one task to work through.
Thank you so much.
Right. Did you have something you want me to call?
Yeah, if I could call two people back to back. The first one, if we could call Mr. Pennington.
All right, and Michael Pennington, if you'll come back forward.
And after speaking with Mr. Pennington, he would like to reset his case for next week just to think more about his options.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. So, Mr. Pennington, we have two cases that are open. I won't enter any pleas today. And we would have you come back next Tuesday at the same time. I'll ask you right now, before you leave, because if you want to apply for the public defender, we could have, Ms. Talene will be here. Will you be here next week? Not next week.
No,
but
it's the week
It's the week after?
Yeah.
So before we make a decision on which week to set you to come back, if you'd like public defender representation, then you could come back 2 weeks from now. We wouldn't have you come back next week and then have to reset you again.
Is there a jail sentence attached to this?
Not generally, but legally you are entitled to have public defender because the charges are potentially enforceable by a jail sentence. So even if I'm not going to impose one, because of the nature of the charge, you're eligible to have public defender representation. So if you'd like her representation, you could. If you want to proceed on your own, you could do it that way. So either way
It
is,
seems like a lot of people profiting off me being homeless, like other than me getting off the street and being inside. You know, it seems like a lot of people, it seems like a lot of like.
well, there's a lot of people working to
I don't
achieve
think
this.
I'm sorry,
I'm not sure we call it profit when we're talking about providing services.
Well, I mean, there's like, this guy's working, you're working, she's working, and it's all for homeless people, but, you know, like, it's not like, it doesn't seem like, it seems like it's more of an excuse for the obstruction charge to be there, so it gives all these people something to do.
Well, you are entitled to your opinion. You're definitely entitled to your opinion. I have a much different opinion, which is that what we're trying to do here at the court is to provide a mechanism to resolve these cases without people having to go to jail. What the police department does is their business, but when they issue a charge, we do have navigators that we hire and pay to help assist at resolving the
I'm having
cases.
trouble because I don't understand the whole case management thing. And I don't understand the fact that like, you know, like the police department can just pass out whatever the hell they want and I just have to, you know, come to court, deal with it and, you know, do all that, but there's not any help being given. There's no pay phones in town. So if we get in trouble for charging our phones, like can't call for 911 if we need help with a dead phone, you know?
I think that's a legitimate concern. I would not argue with you on that. It would be nice
I don't
to be able to charge your
understand where I'm
phone.
supposed to go with this because the whole notification area now is the entire city of Boulder. So like, what, you know, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm a local. I was born and raised here. I'm not going anywhere, so.
Yeah. I understand all of
It's
that.
like a big waste of time to keep going to court for something that doesn't even need to be.
And are you still housed?
I
Did you lose your
I
house?
just went through a separation.
Okay.
I had I was a victim of a domestic violence case, and housing chose to side with the suspect and not the victim, and booted me out of housing.
So you don't have housing
So
right now?
I'm kind of in limbo right now until I can get into the Zenny or Bluebird, but I'm not gonna, I was in camping, I had all my stuff packed up against a wall. And the cop was like, well, I told you I don't want to see you here tomorrow, so then he gave me a ticket for obstruction. And I wasn't even obstructing anything, I was not even in the way of the path, I was like off to the side. Like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to deal with this. But
Yeah.
I fought for 3 years not to get any charges.
Yeah.
Period. Like, no charges since 2022.
Yeah.
Which, being in this courtroom every week for 20 years, you know, like, that's a big thing for me, you know, and just to get friggin' this bull crap charge when I'm doing everything I can to stay out of trouble. I just don't know, I don't know how to go about it, because if I plead not guilty, get found guilty because they revised the code again, then, you know, like, I mean, I don't know where to go with it.
I appreciate all that you're saying. It doesn't fall on deaf ears because I to a large extent, I empathize with what circumstances you have. And I was just looking at the history that we have. The last ticket that I have for you in our court was 2016.
Yeah, so
A long time ago.
I've been doing very good.
You have been.
Not getting tickets, but
You have
I'm just
been.
saying that I have 163 camping tickets in my record. I mean, where was this help 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel highly let down by this whole like judicial system.
I appreciate it. So let's talk about how you want to go about representation, because that's the next step, obviously, is if you just want to come back next week and talk to the navigator.
Do that, so I'm wasting other people's
Well, you're not wasting time. You're not wasting our time, Mr. Pennington. Do you want to come back week and just talk to Ms. Tadara, or do you want to have the public defender represent you and come back in 2 weeks? Which is your preference?
Let's do the 2 weeks and I'll talk with the public defender.
Okay, so I'm going to appoint the public defender. Mr. Pennington's described that he's no longer housed, which means he's eligible for a public defender. I'm not going to require any further. And we're going to reset you for October 14th at 9:30. So that's actually 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
I think that
14th?
October 14th, and we're going to give you a piece of paper, but if you want to put it on your phone, and it'll be at 9:30. That's the next public defender docket. So I'm going to appoint the public defender on both of these cases. She can talk to you about your concerns about the actual charges. She can also have conversations with Dara and with the prosecutor if there's tasks that you can do. That's 3 weeks away. Maybe life will have changed for you and you'll be back housed, and probably not, maybe not that quickly, but you never know.
I'm staying with my wife, basically.
Okay.
She's still has her housing, and I'm.
I don't want to know if you've got a restraining order.
No, there's
I don't want you to get in any trouble.
Or any of that. So I just, I'm not on the street right now, but I'm not, I don't want to like,
Good.
that's why I don't feel like the obstruction charge even.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Understand, so.
There's a lot to understand, and that's why we're going to appoint the public defender. So if you just have, we do that in here. Do you want to send him out front, Nick?
Up front, please.
Okay. So I'm going to put a note here, public defender appointed. And if you'll go out front, they'll get you the information that you need. And then when you come back on the 14th at 9:30, meet with Ms. Talene, who's that woman who's sitting there, and she can go over all of the charges. All right, Mr. Pennington. I just want to say, I appreciate the efforts that you've made. You've made some great efforts. It's never a straight line to being stable. Sometimes you get stable and then things erode a little bit, but I hope you'll keep on the same path, because what you were able to accomplish from 2016 going forward has been pretty remarkable. So just keep going on and going on.
Ron.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Me too.
Well, that took a turn. Watching in this docket was like watching someone run a hybrid courtroom classroom, shifting between patient explanations and firm rulings while making sure every defendant left knowing exactly where they stood. The morning opened with Cited for trespassing while charging her phone near a government building. When she confirmed she was unhoused and just passing through town, Cahn didn't push a plea. Instead, he offered her a meeting with the Community Court Navigator, explaining that working on stability tasks could earn her a dismissal without traditional prosecution. He even reassured her when she asked if she had time to use the restroom, an unexpectedly human moment in a courtroom entity, aggressive animal charge involving his dog Coda. With a baby on the way and the dog heading into a 4-week behavioral boot camp, Cahn agreed to an 8-week continuance. He stressed no plea would be entered yet, giving Winegard time to bring back a report and revisit options later. It was structure with compassion, balancing accountability with life circumstances. Then John Adio Thames, and obstruction charges. Both were referred to the Navigator program, with Cahn carefully explaining how the process works. Tasks tied to housing and stability, leading to possible dismissal. When Talbot argued that his unsigned summons made the charge null and void, Cahn turned it into a teachable moment, breaking down how service works and why the charge still stood. He denied the motion to dismiss, but gave Talbot the same pathway to dismissal through the Navigator. The most detailed M-entity people, Mr. Joyce, 1-1 judgments on multiple charges, including camping, prohibited items, and obstructing. Cahn went line by line through their rights, confirmed their pleas were voluntary, and explained the 5 housing-related tasks they'd be required to complete. He waived fees, stressed the program was meant to build stability, and reminded them that success would mean dismissal and sealing of records. His explanation was part civics lecture, part pep talk, serious but encouraging. Finally, entity, people, and entity D the tasks on a prior deferred judgment, and picked up a new prohibited item charge. Cahn praised his progress, told him to finish the last Medicaid application, and sent him back to the Navigator for the new case. With Pennington, frustration poured out. He vented about years of homelessness, countless camping tickets, and feeling the system just cycled people through. Cahn didn't dismiss his anger. Instead, he empathized, acknowledged his long, clean stretch since 2016, and appointed a public defender to help him. He ended by praising Pennington's progress, reminding him stability isn't a straight line, but urging him to keep at it. What tied it all together was Cahn's steady ear explanations, patient teaching, and a willingness to treat every case as more than paperwork. Whether it was a bathroom break, a dog in training, or a man worn down by years of citations, he balanced firmness with humanity. Watching him, you see a judge who uses his bench as both gavel and guide, delivering accountability, but also direction. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.